I knew Mr. Yechuri from my days in New Delhi. I was working as a journalist between 1988 and 1996. We were running a feature agency called Feature and News Alliance, FANA. For this, it ran for about 8, 9 years. And we used to meet him very frequently during the evening rounds when we would go to the houses of the politicians for some sound bites or some uh, quotes on the recent developments. That was a different time because print media was very, very strong at that time, and audiovisual had not taken up in a large format as it is now. He was a gentleman politician, and he would have ready replies for all the questions which he would raise. And those were the days when Marxists were ruling West Bengal, Tripura, and Kerala, 3 states. It was quite a robust organization. And Mr. Yechuri, he enjoyed very high stature. Now, he was a very simple man. His former wife, perhaps Veena Mazumdar, somebody says it was a different name, but I remember Veena Mazumdar was a professor in JNU, and he did not have a official house or official bungalow in Dhanbatian's Delhi, as other politicians had. And he used to live in his wife's house in Jawaharlal Nehru University. I don't know when he separated from Mrs. Mazumdar, who is currently in Edinburgh University. And later I came down to Bangalore. I was interviewed by the BBC, and Sam Miller, who used to head the South Asian Languages Division of the BBC at London, he had come down to Bangalore, and I was accompanied by Seema Chishti, who later became wife of Sitaram Yechuri. Till that time, I never had met Seema Chishti. I knew his father, Mr. Anis Chishti, who was a very respected journalist in Delhi. He used to write book reviews for Hindustan Times, and we used to meet in the UNI headquarters in Rafi Mark, and we would share a cup of tea often at the South Indian restaurant over there. And Anis Chishti never told me that his daughter is a journalist. Okay. It was only later when Seema came to Bangalore, she informed me that she happens to be the daughter of Anis Chishti. So then I knew that Anis Bhai had a journalist daughters. Still not all dots were connected. Still later, CPM had its Politburo meeting in Bangalore many years later. And I was working for BBC, and I wanted some sound bites from Mr. Sitaram Yechuri. Mr. Prakash Karat was as well there, and Jyoti Basu, and all the big wigs of that party were here. So Sitaram Yechuri, when I told him that I am working for the BBC, he said that his wife, Seema Chishti, is also working for the BBC. And only then I could know that Seema has become wife of Sitaram Yechuri. Okay. And still later, I remember those days when I used to meet Anis Chishti. Once he asked me, "Do you know Arsikere?" I said that, of course, being from Karnataka, I know Arsikere. It is a nondescript town in Karnataka. Then I asked him about why he is inquiring about a nondescript town which is almost like a village in Karnataka. So that his wife comes from there. Till then, I did not know that Karnataka was the in-laws place for Mr. Yechuri. No. And still many years later, I think Seema Chishti resigned from Delhi, from BBC. She joined Indian Express in Delhi. She was resident editor of Indian Express for many years. And some 2 years back, she retired from Express and she joined the Wire. I've been pursuing her career. And she, about 1 or 2 years back, she wrote a book, Sumitra's Kitchen or Sumitra's Recipe. I don't exactly remember the title. And perhaps she has shared many of the recipes and cuisines from Karnataka, which her Kannadiga mother used to cook for her and for the family. So this is how I think that it is a very interesting sidelight of Mr. Yechuri's life. No, that he happens to be the son-in-law of Karnataka. Yeah, and it is a good admixture of many religions, many state identities, many linguistic identities. He was a gentleman politician. He never sought an office, never sought any position of power, any post. No, we always saw him as an activist and a leading figure of the Marxist movement in India. No, and he was behind all movements in order to consolidate the opposition unity. No, he played very important role immediately after Narasimha Rao's tenure came to an end in 1996, and Congress now became the largest party, but it was still much short of a majority, and Congress led support to Mr. Devegowda to become Prime Minister, and even a year later, Mr. Gujral, either Kumar Gujral, he became the Prime Minister. No, so during these things, he tried to bring about solidarity within the opposition parties. And even then, if he wanted, he could have become a minister, but he never became a minister. And he always kept himself away from the trappings of office and positions. No, always remained a behind-the-scene operator. No, and he saw to it that a secular opposition takes over, means he is brought to power in Delhi, and India retains its secular position, secular governance. So I think that way he was a great person. No, was a very gentleman politician and used to have very ready answers. I remember one anecdote from a journalist who related it to me. When communism was downhill, he was asked, "What is the future of the communism?" So his reply was, "Communism is the future of India." So I believe he had a very wishful idea of communism. During the last 20 years, when communists lost power in Tripura as well as West Bengal, the whole movement was downhill. But he still remained with the party, and such was his staunch faith in leftist ideology. And so that way, he was a man of principle, who did not jump parties for the position or powers or post and profit and all that. So that way, Sitaram Yechuri is a great figure, and he will be remembered for all his principles and scruples which he maintained in his life.